name's Robert McClement. I'm a professor of environmental studies at Wilfrid Laurier University. I teach a lot of undergraduate courses in environmental studies, and I do a lot of research on the impacts of climate change on communities. Rising temperatures are causing all sorts of changes to precipitation patterns, weather patterns more generally around the world. We've seen massive wildfires, not just here in Canada, but in the United States, in Australia, in many countries around the world. We've got worries about how climate change is going to affect our food production and our food systems, because obviously we live in a planet with a rapidly growing global population that needs to be fed. There's the risk to human health and well-being. Those are some of the most pressing ones, the ones that are happening right now that we have to deal with. Downtown Toronto, for example, in the summertime, temperatures can get stiflingly hot. That can create all sorts of health risks. The city of Toronto and people who live in Toronto need to be better adapted to hotter summers with higher temperatures. In rural Saskatchewan, the risk might be associated with droughts and how that will affect the local growing conditions. We'd also be concerned about the impacts on winter and the precipitation available and the snowfall in the winter. In a northern community like Canada's Northwest Territories, conditions on ice and snow, it may affect the distribution of wildlife, especially for hunters and people who fish. That's a challenge as well. Northern communities, the infrastructure is typically built on permafrost. Well, if that permafrost starts to thaw, then the buildings start to collapse. Every community is going to have its own tailor-made adaptation plan. There's no one-size-fits-all. What we see right now is a lot of short-term displacement of people because of disasters, in particular, recently, wildfire disasters. So last summer, for example, we had to evacuate people from the city of Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories. They did burn a lot of the smaller communities in the Northwest Territories and in northern Alberta, and so sort of community-specific displacements because of fires, but also because of floods. That's also a problem in many areas. These fires and flood risks are going to become more frequent and more widely spread. There's a community called Tuktoyaktuk in the Northwest Territories, for example, that's right on the Arctic Ocean, and the community is going to be underwater in about 25 or 30 years because of rising sea levels and storms and floods and coastal erosion.